Who is the most important player at your club now? Is it Odegaard or is it Saka?
Most important player at our club is William Saliba.
Interesting.
And he was on the pitch.
On both times, anyway.
He was on the pitch. That's for me. That's our most important. It's the player that, if we remove him from our lineup, the quality of the replacement drops by a massive margin.
Welcome to Naija Football Talk. My name is Chima, and today is, it's a little bit of a mooted show because all of us are suffering the after effects of a wicked FPL week. I mean, Bolu, did you or did you not receive some kind of shege this week?
Let's just not ask how many points.
I mean, Kolade, how was it?
Let's be thankful for life.
Please, if your age is higher than your points this weekend.
Because
I had more points. I had more points.
You have more points than your
I
age.
had more points.
That's good to know.
I try.
My age is more than my
No,
this
I had
week
more
was
points.
just bloody. Anyway, this is not the FPL show. When we return with our FPL show, you will all feel, the actual pain. But yeah, Newcastle versus Arsenal went down, and there were also some very interesting results that took place this week. When we come back from this short break, we'll be going straight into it. Thank you to our sponsors for this video, upoker.net. Upoker.net is an online poker platform where you can enjoy the popular card game called poker with your friends. In case you don't know, there are already several poker competitions running across the globe, and playing on upoker.net with your friends can even help you prepare and, who knows, become the Magnus Carlsen of poker one day. Make sure that you check out the platform on the various app stores, Play Store, and even your Windows PC so that you can enjoy poker in your leisure. Thank you once more to our sponsors, upoker.net. Welcome back to Naija Football Talk. My name is Chima, like I said, and I have Bolu and Kolade with me. And today we're going to be looking at the best action from the past week. In fact, not only the Premier League gave us a big surprise, a lot of other leagues surprised us. I mean, Ajax finally won.
Again.
Back to back.
After how many years? After how many years? Thankful for their life. In La Liga, my own side of things also happened. Rayo Vallecano held Real Madrid at home. But anyway, let's focus on the Premier League for now, starting with Arsenal versus Newcastle. Kolade, I remember vividly you saying, and I quote, that Newcastle cannot beat you at St. James's Park.
They did not beat us. VAR beat us.
VAR beat you.
They did not beat us.
Who has 3 points?
They had the 3 points. All fair, all fine and good, but they did not beat me.
They did not beat you.
They did not beat me. This is a team that they've beaten PSG this season. They've beaten Man City. They've beaten don't get me wrong.
Nothing.
Beating Arsenal is not something to be ashamed of, but they should do it fair and square.
Wow.
That's what we're asking for.
Please, if your team won a game this past week, raise your hand.
If you are in the top, if you've not even played.
We won in midweek.
Anyway, so let's look at the match in depth now. We're going to discuss the VAR.
Yeah.
But outside the VAR, do you think there was any chance that you guys had to actually win the game, but maybe one or two tactical decisions or player mistakes flopped?
To be fair, I can't really point out any because there's a reason why both of those sides have one of the best defenses in the league. Those are two of the best, based on numbers, two of the best defensive sides in the league. And you can see from how the game panned out, there was no really clear-cut chance for any side. I think Newcastle's best chance was Anthony Gordon failing to connect, to a ball in the box. And Arsenal had one chance to that. Nketiah fluffed his lines as well. So there was really nothing.
After scoring a hat-trick.
I told you that guy is not it. Is not it. But then, so really, to be fair, I can't really. Arsenal did their job of containing Newcastle. Newcastle also contained Arsenal as well. Arsenal were not at their attacking best. Credits to Newcastle, and I did say that the midfield battle will come in very handy. And I said that, and you saw Jorginho and Bruno Guimaraes. We saw how it was. It was literally a battle, like a physical battle. So, but to lose the game in that manner was a bitter pill to take from an Arsenal point of view. And we keep on asking for consistency. There were not just one or two, but 4 incidents that should have seen that goal ruled out. And like Arteta said, it's embarrassing to be part of this.
I know you have
embarrassing.
You have your own opinions.
It's embarrassing to be. It's just embarrassing
from the outside. we know VAR has been a mess, especially this season. For some reason, it seems like they've forgotten all about their training in the past 3-4 years, because the number of incidences this season alone in just
they will do their
weeks,
usual phone call and start apologizing. They did to Liverpool.
Weeks, it has been nothing to write home about, really. So what are your thoughts on the VAR controversy surrounding that game? Do you think there's something in it for us now, or do you think there was, they were fair, or do you think maybe there are things that they need to get better?
Every team has suffered their own VAR incidences, to be honest. It's just a matter of whose turn is it this week, whose turn is it going to be next week.
I mean, at some point it favored us now.
Yeah, at some point, the same way.
It was off. That was the clear offside.
Not just this season. There are times when VAR
last season against Brentford, they offered us an apology. Last season they said there were no angles. This season again they said.
Should I remind you about the year you beat Chelsea? And Kovacic got a red card when he shouldn't have got a red card.
Against Man City,
everyone gets VAR decisions for them and against them. It's just your turn this week. Unfortunately, that's what it is at the moment. It's just about when would it be your turn?
No,
when would it favor you? When would it be?
That should not be.
That's the current reality. That's where we're at right now, and it's getting to the point where clubs, players, fans have to come together and say, no, we don't want this anymore. We don't want this in our game. There has to be accountability from the refs. We're trying to get accountability from the fans, accountability from the players. The officials still have to be able to say, okay, this is why we made this decision. This is why these things are happening. You can't just keep protecting refs and letting them make poor decisions every single week. They have to be accountable. And it's getting to the point where they were beginning to see a little bit of changes. There's a bit more of response from their side. Now they try to explain what happened. Now they're releasing audio when they're controversial situation. So I think it's a gradual process. Maybe next season we can have that balance where, okay, they find a system where they can, have that interaction.
Maybe there can be a revolution like how it is in Africa and in South America, where with the treaty referees.
I'm telling you, that's what we need right now. I'm being frank with you. If you go back to the Super League, when English clubs wanted, it was literally fan protest. Yes. That's what needs to happen. If many fans, just like Bolu said, if we keep on agreeing that, today is my turn, tomorrow is your turn, they'll keep on going with it. I mean, for the so-called best league in the world, there's a reason why English referees don't play at the World Cup.
Really pain this time around, because banter aside, they lost the league by the exact number of points that VAR denied them.
Brentford, they offered us a apology for Brentford. So it's not shameful to lose to Newcastle, but we need to start threatening referees. They need to know that if I fuck up this match, it's not going to be nice for me. I'm not going to go home easily just like that. I mean, if it's not a crime to even lose to Newcastle, they've beaten City, they've beaten even PSG.
I mean, see Newcastle.
They've beaten PSG, but to win fair and square is all we ask for. It's no longer a case of who will it be this week. I saw Mark Goldbridge on Twitter, saying that he stands by Arteta and his statements and all of that. And yeah, sometimes we just need to throw banter aside and focus on the matter at hand. But nonetheless, it was Arsenal's turn this week.
It was your turn this week.
We move. 3 points gone.
All right, so let's go back to some little analysis, because if we sit on VAR, it's probably going to be a full episode, on the whole thing. But let's just go back to some analysis here. You guys managed to win. You guys managed to win City without Saka, and people were still saying that was just it just happened, that Saka is your most important player. This time around, Odegaard was not present, Saka was present. You couldn't defeat Newcastle. So what gives? Who is the most important player at your club now? Is it Odegaard or is it Saka?
Most important player at our club is William Saliba.
Interesting.
And he was on the pitch.
On both times anyway.
He was on the pitch. That's for me, that's our most important. It's the player that if we remove him from our lineup, the quality of the replacement drops by a massive margin. I mean, you can choose to say if Saka comes off, we can put maybe Gabriel Jesus on the flank or something, or Reece Nelson. That one is just living on bomb out tax. I don't even know why he's at that club. But yeah, when you drop Saliba, I think is our most important player when you want to look at it. So the City game, trust me, that game actually had a 1-0 scoreline written on it. You know that it was going to be a game of who would just snap the first chance and go. But this Newcastle game, I think both sides did their homework. They, stifled the opposition, kept the attack quiet, and it was just fitting that it had to be a controversial goal.
Speaking of homework, what did Eddie Howe do right in that game?
Well, Newcastle have been very stubborn since he took charge of the team. They are very, very solid. They have this very solid base of very tall defenders, very energetic and giant midfielders as well. They don't take prisoners, especially when they are at home. They're always very charged. I
marvel at the decision to convert Joe Linton to a midfielder.
Yeah,
I marvel at that decision.
Especially at home, they are very, very feisty, and it's always very, very cagey in St James's Park. So I think they just took the opportunities, used the atmosphere, used their solidity, and they've been keeping clean sheets. They've had good results recently. So I think the momentum was just on their side on the day, and unfortunately, it was a controversial decision that decided the game for them.
So it's
against
not
Arsenal.
This time around. It's not about one manager outthinking the other.
Well, it was a game of small margins. It's that Newcastle just had the rub of the green. They just had the luck that they were able to put the ball in back of the net, and the officials could not rule it against them rightfully. So. They just had the opportunity on the day and took their 3 points. That's what big teams do at this point.
That means
when big teams face each other.
We can put Arteta and Eddie Howe on the same level now because.
Come on. Let's not get that.
They both played their first Champions League seasons this year. They both played their first Champions League season. They're both Champions League debutants.
If that's the case, then
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Kolade will always make a case for Arteta being a
Arteta already has a major trophy to under 6 months. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Eddie Howe won League 1, League 2 championship. Well, let's keep going.
It's all good. Anyway, Newcastle versus Arsenal was a very interesting match, very controversial match, and the fallout from that, we'll keep talking about it.
That will get fined probably.
Normal. We'll see even the VAR issues, everything. We'll keep talking about it for a long time. But that's not all we have to share with you on this week's episode of Naija Football Talk. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll be going straight into other action from the Premier League. Welcome back. I'm Chima, and I still have Bolu and Kolade with me. And this time around, we're going to be looking at some of the other results that happened in the Premier League. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there were a lot of tears, sorrows, and gnashing of teeth in our various FPL leagues and everywhere. In fact, if you scored more than 50 points in this week's FPL, you are using jazz. I suspect you are probably one of those who hacks the league. Anyway, let's go back straight into it. First of all, what's the most surprising result from this week for you?
It will have to be Nottingham, but I want to I have a different idea. For FPL reasons, Nottingham beating Aston Villa was a shock. But I would say in the league as a whole, I think Man U beating Fulham was a surprise. Man U, winning at Manchester United they've not existed. They've not really been friends. Winning at Manchester United haven't really existed together recently. So for them to win a game, kudos to them.
Anyway, we already know what your opinion is. Nottingham.
No, it's not Nottingham actually. Okay. I think it's actually Luton. And why it's Luton? Because
Luton, Liverpool.
I'm not going to mention names, but a certain prophet he also predicted some games, and
this country is
and he was like, Luton they'll be beating like 3 or 4. He was so confident, and that's what the Premier League brings to you. Even when you watch that game, Luton were it's not as if you say they were lucky. They held their own, and it seemed like a draw was a fair result. Very surprising.
Interesting. Anyway, I see
thousands of people triple captain Salah.
Come on.
That says a lot.
I wasn't one of them. My captain Haaland.
I wasn't one of them, but it was my captain. I was this close to triple cap.
It's the same thing that happened to me on the weekend that Tottenham played Luton. I triple captain Son.
You enjoyed your night.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why I didn't captain Salah, because I know Luton at home. It's very unlikely that Salah will have a good game.
That was a very surprising result, really. Well, like we said at the beginning, Nottingham beating Aston Villa was actually, especially considering the fact that it was a proper beating. Like there was no.
And our own Naija boy as well.
I know. We're really happy on one side, but on the other side of it,
it's sport FPL.
It's sport show anyway. So that's one of the beautiful things in football. And like I said at the beginning of the show too, there were also some interesting results across board. But let's continue with our Premier League discourse for the moment. So Now, City 6-1. Same old, normal. It's not unexpected. But the star of that match was Jeremy Doku, and I think we can clearly say now that the young man is a proven Premier League player at this point in time. I don't know if you guys hold the same opinion, or do you?
Oh well, he's already beaten any
player.
He's already showing that he's not yet to be a squad player. That he's yet to, take that first team spot for his own. And like we know with Guardiola, he doesn't buy players just for the fun of it. He buys players that fit into his ideology. So he has just fit in like a duck in water.
What do you think about that too?
Well, it just improves the options that they have. They lost Mahrez last year, and now they're getting an even more direct winger. So, and Pep, if you look back, Pep has always had the option of having one very direct winger in his squad. Remember the way he used to use Sane? After that, he started using Mahrez, started using Sterling as well. So now he has a beast of a dribbler that he completes 6-7 dribbles per game, or even more than that per game. So it's just amazing that Pep now has
for Hazard's record.
and teams that will be sitting deep against City now have a problem because there's somebody that can take 3-4 men on, create space,
and all of that. So do you think he should count his losses with Grealish?
I mean, Grealish is not a loss. 100 million,
like,
yeah, but Grealish is not a loss. Grealish is just another quality player. But he was also the man of the match against Man U. Let's not forget. Doku was on the bench against Man U, and Grealish had a blinder of a game. So let's not forget that he has his days too. But now it's just another option for Pep. Pep always mixes his players.
Just another option.
That's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. For a treble winning team, it's just another option. They have different players that can use for different roles, and having Doku and Grealish on one side of the field is just a blessing.
It's a brilliant
Anyway, Sha. Speaking of the 100 million thing, City has been able to amass a solid squad depth, and most of it is with funds. You get only a few players were not up to 30 million in that squad. Almost everybody is 50 and above. So they've really spent money in building their very impressive squad. And recently, Postecoglou, Tottenham's coach, also spoke about the role of money in football. That is not necessary. You don't necessarily have to buy all the big stars for you to be able to build a team. Looking at how City has done it, looking at what Postecoglou is saying, seeing that he's also currently enjoying, some kind of progress, some kind of enjoyment, basically. So what are your thoughts? Can you help us reconcile this?
Well, I don't really disagree with Postecoglou, but the fact is the way football is right now, the current scope of things, you need money to buy the quality. You need money to buy the quality players.
Osimhen is 140 million.
If you want to, I think Osimhen might cost more than that. If he doesn't want to leave and Napoli want to play hardball, he can actually cost
enter like 100
or thereabout. So the way the transfer market is, you actually need good money to buy quality players. I mean, you might be lucky to spot some rare gems and maybe some bargain deals, 10 million, 15 million.
Brighton should show us how they do it.
But if you want to go for actual quality players, the Haalands or Siemens, you need to be ready to spend money. But the thing people need to understand about Guardiola is that he just doesn't spend, but he spends well. PSG spend as well. I mean, Manchester United spend. They bought Anthony 100 million as well. They bought Anthony for 100 million as well. So that's the thing. It's not about spending. It's about spending well.
Yeah, it's about spending well, but you have to spend at the end of the day. So Postecoglou may not be entirely right about spending money because truly, except you are Brighton or Ajax or something, even Ajax now they suffer. I mean, maybe next season now they will finally bring out their
Brighton are suffering it now. I think they have only one win in their last 7 games.
True. Maybe next season they will bring
out
their
even Dortmund. Look at Dortmund. They've not won the league in about 11 years now
because of their penny pinching ways of transfer business. Maybe very soon they will bring up checkbook and we'll start seeing Dortmund spending. I mean, even Liverpool.
Yeah, they're living up to tradition.
Who were winners still had to spend money on Nunez, who is now,
But they spent on Van Dijk and Alisson too.
True. But that was then. They went like.
I mean, Liverpool have had to spend money. They signed some. See Keita, for example. They spent 50-60 million on Keita.
Everybody is now spending.
So they've had to spend money as well.
So let's just see how far Postecoglou can go with this mentality. Maybe one day he will start to cry like Conte because that's where they all start from. You don't need to buy good players.
When they enter the Champions League now, you realize that their squad is not good enough.
The squad is not good enough. It's all good. Anyway, beautiful football happened this weekend. Fans are, crying. Arsenal fans are crying. Those of us playing FPL are crying. There's been a lot of, tears to go around, but at the same time, there's been a lot of enjoyment because this is the game we all love. Thank you so much for watching us analyze it. Thank you so much for watching us banter over it. And make sure you check out our other content on our channel if you are new to this channel. Also, make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you also click the like button on this video and share your thoughts on everything that we've discussed. The conversation also continues on our social media platforms, which will be showing on your screen right about now. Special thanks to our sponsors, upoker.net, once more for doing this with us again. And until we come your way with another beautiful episode of Naija Football Talk from Bolu, Kolade, and myself, Chima, stay jiggy.